Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello subscribers, welcome to the Fast Profits Daily. I am Brijesh Bhatia. FMCG index is one of the top gainer into the 2022. FMCG is up by nearly 17% so far, right from start of 2022. We saw even the bullish momentum in last year, which was up about 9.5-10%. And this year, after a 10% rally, we are witnessing 17% rally. Uh, is the momentum continuing, or will the momentum continue for the FMCG space onto the higher side? Well, if I just look at the constituents of FMCG index, two stocks nearly weigh around 65%. So ITC around nearly around 30%, followed by HUL, which weighs around 25-26%. So if I just look at these two components of FMCG index, they weigh around 65%. So if FMCG index has to go higher or has to go lower, these two stock momentum will be a very important to watch out. And if I just look at 2022, what has led FMCG index to head higher is the ITC. ITC, apart from what the we have seen the slow mover, or we have seen most of the WhatsApp group having the memes of ITC, it is up 65% so far this year, and that has led FMCG index up by around 17%. And if I look at the contribution from top five, which is if I just look at the constituents, ITC 30%, as I said, HUL 25-26%, Nestle, which weigh around 7.5%, Tata Consumer around 6%, Britannia around 6%. So if I look at the component of top five contribution in the current year, I just look at, as I said, ITC is about 65% up, HUL is up about by 6%, Nestle up by 2%, Tata Consumer up by 5%, and Britannia up by 17%. And as ITC is up by 65%, we are witnessing that index is up by 17% so far. But most of the contribution, I would say large contribution, is from ITC, and most of the other top five are being slightly underperforming or flat to positive, apart from Britannia, which is up by 17%. And what could lead? Will the rally continue into the next leg of momentum? Let's decode the chart and what are the charts indicating onto the FMCG index. Let's first chart. If we look at, this is the weekly chart of FMCG index over here, and if I just look at the structure, the structure on weekly scale seems very bullish as of now. The long term chart indicate the trend is very. If I look at the trend right from 2014, probably the primary trend even onto the FMCG space is very bullish. So last 8-9 years of trend, it's been trending bullish. We saw consolidation between 2018 2021, but once that is broken out, we are witnessing a rally coming into the FMCG space on a weekly chart. Now, if you look at these black lines, the initial resistance turned out to be the support zone. We saw 2015, 2017 zone, a breakout happened. We saw 2020 fall. Most of the markets globally fell. But as it is said, when you do technical assets, price are very important, and price keep a scar on the charts. Now look at this 2020 low. It was right at the support of 2015, 2017 highs. So here the resistance turned out to be the support. Now, if I just look at the similar structure happening when it broke out in 2022, we saw correction in first half of 2021, and first half of 2022. And if you look at the right at the support area where the 2018 2021 high was taken out, index took support right at those area. So now the current point in time, if I just look at the breakout of 2021 2022, 42,500 42,000 stands out to be a major support area for FMCG index. Now till that level are holding on to the FMCG space, I think yes, there is a probably a long term trend indicating a bullish scenario. Probably we may see a 5% 7% plus minus range, but weekly scale chart indicate yes, the trend is very bullish. Now the point is, who will take the lead? ITC already up by 65%. Will it take another 35% or 40% rally to lead the FMCG index, or do HUL have to lead? Because if I just look at these two constituents, they are nearly 65%. So these two have to lead the rally onto the positive side if they really want to continue. But if I use the top down approach onto the FMCG index, we saw weekly scale chart a very bullish scenario. Right, the resistance being acting as a support. The recent breakout in 2021-22 highs are very important now. But if I just look at the daily chart, the top down approach, I'm witnessing the bullish structure on weekly turning out to be the bearish structure on daily. Though the breakdown has been yet to be confirmed, but if you look at this red structure over here, we are looking at the double top scenario over here. If you look at the horizontal red line, which is again the neckline of the double top structure, but if in case, as I said, 42,500 will be very important to watch out on the weekly scale. Similarly, on daily scale, if I just look at the neckline, it's placed around 42,500, 42,600 levels. So, if in case that breaks a breakdown happens, I probably think that we may see a slightly, probably a time correction or price correction. We will be knowing after that, but 42,000, a break of 42,000 will be certainly a trend change happening onto the daily scale. Weekly scale, yes, it will be very important to watch out how this the resistance which being there turns out to be the support and how the market holds. But what is likely uncertain over here is the HUL, because HUL has been for last couple of months losing its momentum. We saw the previous high been acting as a resistance zone, and the momentum has been down for last month. If I just look at the month of October, index was down somewhere around 5.5%, probably. This month it is down by 2%. So overall 6.5-7% down. It's been there onto the HUL, which is putting pressure on FMCG index as of now. So we saw 45,000 back towards trending below 44 or around 44,000 levels as of now. So though from the higher levels, the index is not that much down, but if in case HUL puts pressure, we may see this tide turning onto the downside, and the flavor of the FMCG in the current year may take a pause if in case HUL continue. So let's look at the HUL chart over here first. What are the chart indicators? And now, if you look at this chart, right from March 2022, we have seen a sharp rally coming into the HUL. It was trending somewhere around 1850, 1900 levels. We saw rally around 22,700 levels now. So now, if I just look at the structure, if you look at this red structure over here, it is basically a distribution theory of Wyckoff pattern. So what does this theory indicate? That when this price initially rally, if you look at the preliminary buying happen, if you look at the buying climax happen. So generally buying climax happens with a larger volume, and then the volume dries up. Now, if you look at the buying climax zone, where the rally from right around 2000 levels to 2600 was there, we saw a steady volume or a higher volumes happening in that rally. But since then, when the next leg of highs were made, the upthrust was made, the volumes dripped down very low. So volumes were very much lower. It was nearly down by around 35-40% on an average daily volume. So if you look at the structure, then the stock went into the consolidation right from August, and since August, if you look at the Nifty, has been seen a sharp comeback. We saw 15,200 to 18,300, 400 levels now onto the Nifty. And some point in time, if HUL is underperforming against the Nifty as well, because it's part of Nifty, it generally keeps a red alert for a bulls in current point in time. So if I just look at the structure, we saw a new high coming onto the HUL as well. But if you look at the high and look at the volumes, they were again missing. But when the stock started falling, we saw an uptick into the volume. So if you look at the LPSI, which is last point of selling levels, look at the volumes uptick over there. The one bar, the daily bar volumes, it has been very much higher compared to the previous few days. Now, this indicates that the structure seems very bearish as of now. The distribution is taking place into the HUL. Though this is a daily chart, probably we may see distribution slow and steady happening over here. Now, if you look at the SOW, which is the sign of weakness, we saw two similar levels, sign of weakness, one sign of weakness to somewhere around 2500 levels, and stock has breached those levels now. and heading onto the downside over here. Though it's been coming onto the retest the SOW level, it will be very interesting if in case stock managed to break 2600, then this theory may go wrong. But till 2600 is not taken out, this theory may be in place, and there could be a potential selling pressure coming onto the HUL as well, which will lead FMCG index onto the downside. Being a 30% weightage, nearly 30% weightage, 26% weighted onto HUL, it generally, if it start correcting, it may put pressure onto the FMCG index. Now, what are the charts of ITC indicating? Are they bullish? But if I look at the HUL, yes, being a 25-26% weightage seems a slightly skeptical onto the bullish move over here, and probably I think it is a potential sell coming onto this structure. If I look at the ITC chart again over here on your screen, this is again a daily chart. Now, if you look at right 2021, 2022, the larger which was we have seen 65% rally in 2022. The first leg of rally witnessed a huge volume over here. Now, right from around 170, 200 levels to towards around 270, 280, 300 levels, the volumes were steady. But the last leg where the volumes from 320, 315 to 350 plus levels, the volumes have been decreasing steadily, and that is the sign of cautious for me, with the investors or with the traders indicating that probably again, as I said, ITC is a generally a slow mover. We have seen for years and years ITC being not moving, and now after a strong leg of rally, the volumes are drying up. In case the next leg of rally is with volumes into the ITC, we may see FMCG index going higher. Till then, if HUL puts pressure and ITC stays around these levels, I believe FMCG index is in slight danger, and we may see a pause to the bullish trend onto the FMCG index. Largely, it will be led by onto the downside, or the underperformance will largely led by HUL, I believe, which holds around 25-26%. And the technical setup indicates that the potential short-term distribution is in place on the HUL chart. Till 2600 is not taken out, I believe this structure will be in place onto the HUL, and it will continue to put pressure onto the FMCG index. So the next leg of rally, again, as I said, Britannia, Tata Consumer, and the Nestle with the next three, apart from these two in the top five, hold somewhere around 6-7% of weight. So if I just look at these three contribution, it holds somewhere around 18-20%. And if in case even ITC don't move and FMCG continue to HUL continue to leg onto the downside, and if these three stocks come together to outperform the markets, only we have seen so far Britannia gaining 17% this year, and else if I just look at Tata Consumer 3-4%, Nestle a couple of percent higher. If in case these three stocks rally together onto the positive side, and HUL falling, that could subside for the FMCG index, and FMCG index may trend in a range. But the next leg, in case if FMCG wants to go higher, ITC has to come back very strongly. And only concern for me is the volume over here onto the ITC, because we have seen a strong rally 65%. It's been taking a breather for right now onto the chart of the ITC. So for me, I'll wait for the next leg of rally, but HUL seems very in danger for FMCG index. And in case FMCG index hold 42,000, 42,500 onto the support zone, we may see the bulls coming back very strongly, probably a quarter of consolidation and then a resumption of rally. But in case ITC doesn't perform, we witness ITC profit bookings into the ITC, we witness profit bookings onto the markets, then the FMCG index may be under pressure for next leg of momentum. So HUL will be the triggers. Keep a watch on 2600 on HUL, and 42,000, 42,500 on FMCG index will be very key levels to watch out in the momentum. And that's the one index which is currently holding on to the markets with a gain of 17%. Probably, I believe, in case ITC outperforms, HUL reverses, breaks 2600, then this one index could be one of the leading in sectoral index in 2022. And we are just a month, probably 45 days to go to end the year. And probably, if in case FMCG holds the higher levels, ITC holds their level, we may end somewhere around 20+% of FMCG index. Keep a watch on HUL and the 42,500, 42,000 levels on the FMCG. And HUL, being a trader, I believe HUL is getting ready for downside momentum. The only risk over is 2,600, and probably in case the distribution continues, we may see much lower into the HUL. Signing off, Brijesh Bhatia.